This video shows how to prepare a quiche using short crust pastry. A number of food skills are used, such as measuring, sifting, rubbing in, forming a dough, rolling out, lining a tin, whisking, grating, cutting, and using an oven. Grease a 20 centimeter baking tin, for example a Victoria sponge sandwich tin. Rub a little fat around the tin or use a brush. Prepare the ingredients and get the equipment ready. Preheat the oven to 200 degrees C or gas mark 6. Sift the flour into a bowl using the side of your hand to help. Then add the pieces of cold butter or baking fat to the flour. Coat the fat pieces in the flour. Using the tips of your fingers and thumbs, gently rub the fat into the flour until it looks like breadcrumbs. To keep the flour cool and light, lift the flour up above the bowl when rubbing in. Gently shake the bowl from time to time to see if there are any large lumps. Once the fat has been rubbed into the flour and looks like breadcrumbs, add the water to form a dough. Make a well in the middle of the flour and add the water. Add a little to start. You might need to add more. If the mixture is looking too dry, sprinkle in a few drops of water. If it's too sticky, add a little flour. It's important to add the right amount of water to form the dough, so be careful. Start to combine everything together to form a soft dough. When you've nearly combined everything together, use your hands to bring the dough into a ball, moving it around to clean the sides of the bowl to form a soft dough. You have now made short crust pastry. Sprinkle a little flour onto a clean work surface and onto the rolling pin. Start rolling over the dough evenly. Use a smooth, sweeping motion in one direction only. Loosen the dough and turn it around by 90 degrees. You might need to use your hands to keep it in shape. Continue turning the dough, making sure that it doesn't stick and stays in a round shape. You may need to sprinkle more flour onto the rolling pin and work surface. Keep rolling until the dough is the thickness of a pound coin. Use the baking tin to check that it is the right size. Carefully place the dough in the baking tin using the rolling pin. Using the back of your finger, press the dough into the tin. Rotate the tin to press it all the way around. Using a knife, trim away the edge of the pastry. When starting, you might find it easier to trim the edge with the baking tin on the work surface. Using a fork, prick small holes into the pastry base. The lined baking tin is now ready to be filled. Beat the eggs in a bowl and add to the milk. Add the ground black pepper and mix everything together thoroughly. With the baking tin on a baking tray, sprinkle the grated cheese over the pastry base, then add the chopped red pepper. Lastly, pour the egg mixture over the cheese and vegetables. Using oven gloves, place the quiche into the preheated oven for 25 to 30 minutes until golden brown. Remove the quiche using oven gloves and turn off the oven. Allow the quiche to cool slightly, then remove from the baking tin. Remember, preheat the oven, make sure that the butter or baking fat is cold, use the tips of your fingers and thumbs to rub in until it looks like breadcrumbs, add enough liquid to form a dough, roll in one direction, keep rotating and rolling until you have the right thickness. Place the rolled pastry into a lined or greased tin. Use oven gloves.